What?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. We'll highlight all that. Don't you worry.
I'm just
But of
saying,
course,
you gotta remind people.
Subscribe right now.
Subscribe.
subscribe. Of course.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Prior to Pitts doing the house show, which, by the way, rousing success last week for me and him. Go and check that out. Episode 3 of the house show. I want to bring back a fantasy show.
Oh boy.
Like not anything like huge, not anything crazy, but I my fantasy football league announced we finished our keepers. We're on to the draft. I have the first overall pick. We have updated the league. It's been an 8-team league forever. We had a dead ball era when there were 6 teams. Now there's 8 teams. We've expanded it a little bit. I was a 3-time champion in the dead ball era. I have not won a championship since, but I have podiumed 3 years in a row. My keepers this year are Saquon Barkley in the second round, so I get a 13 pick ADP jump, and Trey McBride in the 5th, which is good, not great. It's all right.
You got to score.
Trey McBride, look, bro, tight end 2, 32nd overall player, had 1 touchdown, and he didn't even catch it.
He's a yards merchant.
Absolute yards merchant with the best Call of Duty player in the NFL. But I'm struggling. We're upgrading to a 2-quarterback league.
Ugh.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like it, but it's better than super flex. I'm not putting a quarterback at flex. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So everyone's
Phil's
keeping
win again. Sorry for that. Philly's just won again.
Just about everyone's keeping a quarterback, and I'm out here no quarterback. I did a draft this morning while I was on the shitter, and it might be my favorite draft that I've done so far, but I don't know if I'm in love with it. So my 2 quarterbacks in this draft scenario is Drake May and Dak Prescott.
I don't hate Drake May. I don't like Dak Prescott.
I think Dak is going to have a comeback year. I truly do. I truly, in my heart of hearts, think he's going to have a great comeback year.
Dak might be on his back all year. Pause.
So, hold on. Whoa. Yeah, so my quarterbacks are Drake May and Dak Prescott. Running backs are Saquon Barkley, and I reached in the 4th round a little bit. I traded away a 3rd-round pick last year to go for it all in the final. I didn't get it. I'm taking Travion Henderson in the 4th round as of right now. It's him or Alvin Kamara.
Is that the
only wide receiver who could possibly land to me? Maybe would be Tyreek Hill. I'm not T. Rice. I have James Conner as my flex running back. Jameson Williams is my wide receiver 2 with Justin Jefferson as my first overall pick. I got Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson, Jacoby Myers, Matthew Golden, Jawan Jennings, Jordan Mason, Jake Ferguson, and Jack Beck. I think it's a good team. But I
love your wide receivers, and obviously I love Saquon for a multitude of reasons. I like Trey McBride, but like I said, he's got to be able to score. Travion Henderson is such a boomer bust, like season long, like,
which is why I took James Conner, because James Conner has outplayed ADP every single year.
He's just stay healthy.
I mean, like Tony Pollard, it seems very clear he's the RB1. Check down merchant to Cam Ward, receiving player. Brian Robinson actually might be one of the best running backs in the NFC East, in NFC this year.
He's fine.
This is going to be the first year though that he has a true situationship happening in Washington, and teams are going to figure out Jaden Daniels a little bit. Offensive line's there. Like, let's be honest,
that offensive line is old.
I know, but it's still there. I do like Jawan Jennings, Golden, and Myers are great wide receivers on the back end. My big question, though, is that first overall pick. I basically have pick of the litter here between Jefferson, Josh Allen, and Josh Gibbs.
Jefferson, Josh Allen, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Ooh. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. but you're in the predicament that you have Jamison Williams as well.
Yes. Well, at the Jamison Williams pick, while it's not perfect, I could at that spot take one of Calvin Ridley, David Montgomery, or George Pickens. I don't love either of them, any of them. Ridley probably the most. And if I reach enough, and I don't know if he would land there, because if I took Gibbs, I probably could take Montgomery.
Yeah, but then you'd have like those two kind of like feasting on each other. They're on the same team.
Yeah, but like it's the same reason why I have McBride and James Conner. They're both going to eat.
Yeah, but Montgomery and Gibbs at the same position is what I mean.
Yeah, but
like when one guy's touching the ball, the other guy's not touching it.
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Where Gibbs doesn't get goal line carries, Montgomery does. So you're kind of like you're playing both sides of the coin. I mean, like it works.
Yeah, it's like it's the ultimate
handcuff. So like that's where my issue lies.
Who was it? It was Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. I mean,
yeah, like Josh Allen.
Not that I advocate taking a quarterback number 1 overall, but like you have
so here for reference, right? For reference, keepers in the league include Joe Burrow is being kept late, Lamar Jackson's being kept, Mahomes is being kept, Jaden Daniels is being kept. So like
where is Jalen Hurts being kept? Just out of curiosity.
No, but he would go end of the first round.
Okay.
In all likelihood, based on all the keepers.
And Saquon is your second round keeper.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing. I've actually thought about trading the first overall pick, try and get a couple of picks, and move back in the first round to take Jalen Hurts. So I have Hurts, Barkley. Then really you're equally hedging the bet there of every goal line touchdown that happens for the Eagles will be mine. Yeah. So, but Josh Allen, I mean, he's going to be the quarterback 1. Ultimately, like he has everything with him. The situation hasn't changed, and he still was amazing. So I'm trying to I'm trying to hedge my bets a little bit and figure out where I go.
And I love Justin Jefferson. I think he is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's throwing him the ball though?
It's going to be McCarthy.
Ugh.
And whether McCarthy is the same as Darnold, worse than Darnold, I think Jefferson is quarterback proof. Like he's gonna get fed.
We gonna find out.
That's the problem. You can't miss on your first round pick.
Yep.
I got lucky and missed last year after Tyreek Hill with the first overall pick, and it bit me in the ass. But I ultimately, really, what I do want to do is possibly trade out of the first overall pick, get a second round pick, and maybe a 4th, and then I can take Henderson, but also take Tyreek Hill, and in the second round, I want to target Drake London or Ladd McConkey. That would be solid if I can capitalize on that. But I don't know who would take the first overall pick for me.
I mean, a lot of people would take the first overall pick, I feel like, but it's a matter of you getting back proper compensation.
What do you think proper is? A second and a 4th?
For those available players, you should be getting their first and
for first and a 4th. I'm not getting that.
You should be pick swapping for sure in the first round, and
first and a 3rd, first and a 4th.
You should set the market and try to fleece somebody for a late second.
Well,
and see who bites.
Well, the problem is being at the first overall pick. If I trade with somebody who has the 6th or 7th pick, they're going to have an early pick in the second round. Because it's Snake.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
You got to put on your Howie Roseman hat.
Trying my best here.
It's got to be hashtag Stevie season. I don't even
10
know
minutes into the show. Chat and fantasy here. Well, we gotta figure out our league.
Yeah, I'm gonna be drafting 2 leagues on one night, and it's gonna be absolute hell.
Are we ready to draft? But like, do we have the league ready, or are we missing?
I just need Casey and Harrison to join the league.
All right, and then we gotta get on this, baby.
August 27th is what it's shaping up to be.
When is it?
August 27th.
Okay.
I'll be drafting 2 teams.
Do you like my my team name right now?
What are you, NFL Europe?
Every single fantasy football league that I've been in for the last 5 years, I've used a defunct team. My friend's league back home, I have been the Washington Redskins for years. In fantasy baseball, I'm the Cleveland Indians. So I only use defunct teams. In my other league, I'm going to be
You got to be one of the teams in NFL Europe.
well, I could be.
You gotta be like the Cologne Centurions or the Frankfurt Galaxy.
In a different league. I'm actually doing. I'm gonna be the. There was one year in the NFL that 2 teams didn't have enough players, so they merged the teams.
Yeah, it was the Steelers and the Eagles.
Yes, the
The
Steagles.
Steagles. That's how the blue and yellow jerseys that the Eagles wore came to be.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So I'm doing the Steagles.
Those
Actually,
jerseys are awesome.
that's what I should be in our league, and I should be NFL Europe somewhere else. That's great.
You should be the Barcelona Dragons.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
And then I'll make fun of everybody when they go Ibiza, and I'm like, it's Ibiza.
Ibiza. You took a pill in Ibiza?
Whenever I hear someone called Ibiza, I think of what's his name from that 70s show, Fez.
Wilmer Valderrama, the host
Son.
of Yo Mama.
Classic, dude.
I can't believe that was a show.
Yeah, I will never forget the only one joke that I remember. I watched like a compilation once. It was like best jokes on Yo Mama, and some dude literally showed up and goes, "Yo Mama's so corny," and just poured a can of corn on the kid's head. That shit was
3.
dope.
One was Yo Mama's like a 2x4, flat as a board, easy to nail. Your mama's so poor she bought you an Xbox 180,
bro. Dude, I last night, final night of the championship, we watched White Chicks.
Oh, it's a classic.
Incredible.
It's so good. Yeah, I can't believe Yo Mama had not only was it a show, it had 3 seasons.
Really? That long?
They filmed in New York, I think somewhere in California, and then in Atlanta. Just insane. Just an insane show. What a time. Kids these days don't remember Yo Mama.
I was talking to Kay about this. The last thing before we hit the break. They're talking about how like Gen Beta is starting up, and they're going to be the Gen Beta kids are going to have the smallest brains because be the screens, and because everything will be digitally captured, they're not going to have any form of like nostalgia when they grow up. And it kind of sucks because like I was watching Paramount Plus, shout out to Paramount Plus, and I was watching like old 90s Nickelodeon shows, and I'm like, wow, like I was talking to Kay about Stoop Kid.
Kid's afraid to leave his stoop.
Kid never left the stoop, and like Kay was like Stoop Kid. I'm like, well, you didn't watch SpongeBob as a kid. Now you're telling me you didn't watch Hey Arnold?
Here we go. Yeah, I was in a group chat with DJ and Hoots, and Hoots is younger than DJ, and did not get the reference when I brought up somebody being like Brainy from Hey Arnold, and my heart shattered in a multitude of pieces because Brainy just coming out of the shadows and Helga just popping a fist in his glasses was just iconic.
Helga Pataki, what a name.
And her older sister Olga.
I knew a girl back in college, and it was Olga Bershansky.
Gee, what a name.
It's a bad name to grow up with.
That's a name.
The only
Olga
worst name that
Bershansky.
like the only worst name to grow up with is like shit. I was just talking about this with somebody. There's a celebrity with a child with a really unfortunate name. Crap. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. This joke got ruined real quick. All right, let's go to break.
One quick fantasy thing, Steve, because I have my draft coming up.
Yeah.
I have the 9th pick in a 12-man league.
Drake London.
Right now, it's funny you say that. Right now, my slotted pick is Drake London, but my keepers are Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
3 league? Wow.
And you can spend a first-round pick to keep a 4th.
Okay.
But it's you keep the guys for the year you drafted them, and then 3 years after that, and then they go back into the draft.
Dude,
yeah, so it's like a pseudo dynasty league almost.
Dude, I wish that was the case. In one league I'm playing in, I took Jahmyr Gibbs 3 years. Sorry, Jamar Chase. Took Jamar Chase, I think his rookie year, as like a 7th round pick. First year you keep him in the slot. Then every subsequent year he jumps 2 rounds. So this year I had to let him go as my first round pick. So I wasn't going to keep him. Even though I have the last pick in the first round, I'd rather go for a Drake London or somebody else. But I have Justin Jefferson. I took him in the 15th round. I have him in the 9th round this year.
Yeah, none of our our keeper picks are just the last 3 rounds, and it never changes, which is nice. But right now, with Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm projected to get Drake London with my pick. But also surrounding Drake London in that area, right before him is Brock Bowers. Right after him is Jonathan Taylor, and right after Jonathan Taylor is Trey McBride.
So it's crazy because the situation only got better for Bowers.
Right.
But that almost actually makes me more concerned for Bowers. I always look at tight ends and running backs in bad offenses as the valve, that they are your safety. It's why Saquon was so good with the Giants. It's why Bowers was so good with, I don't even know who the quarterback was last year, Aiden O'Connell?
It was Aiden and
Gardner Minshew, was it?
Yeah, for a little bit.
So
and we're a full point PPR league too. Which, if you're not playing full point PPR, reevaluate your league.
Sorry, I'm getting texts about Kyron Williams. Love my Notre Dame running backs. No, so like now that there's actually legitimate quarterback play, I actually think it's a better situation for Jacoby Myers more than it is Bowers, because now there's less reliance on hitting the valve every single time. Like Cam Ward is naturally going to gravitate towards Tony Pollard. Daniel Jones naturally gravitated towards Saquon Barkley. Give me another, like Drake May will probably gravitate towards Travion Henderson. It simply makes sense, even though that offense is getting better. Or like slot guys are always pretty good in decent offenses because they're in the middle of the field. Like unless they're shifty enough, they can do it. It's why Chris Godwin's been good for all these years. I don't mind Bowers, but I think you can get more value later in the draft. I would go with Drake London because that offense has so many weapons and everyone's going to eat and it's going to be delicious.
But do you trust Penix?
Yes, absolutely. Michael Penix as Drake London's quarterback. Drake London averaged 24 points per game.
I also value
nothing's changed.
I also value having a 2-headed monster at running back.
I agree with you because of scarcity, but you already have Jahmyr Gibbs, right?
Yeah.
All right. Who would be available at the turn then at running back for you?
I mean, right on the cusp of Drake London is Jonathan Taylor.
Well,
and I could have a Jonathan Taylor.
read me like the 6 picks after London.
It's Jonathan Taylor, Trey McBride, Kyron Williams, who I don't trust because he fumbles,
Yes.
Chase Brown, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, James Cook.
I would look at Chase Brown. That team situation hasn't changed at all, and the guy was an absolute nut job last year.
And then my projected pick in the second round is Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker also isn't bad. Clint Kubiak runs the ball a lot.
And Chuba Hubbard is like the pick right after him too. And
Chuba
I
Hubbard
fucking loved Chuba last year. What a steal of a pick.
I had him in the 18th round last year. Fire.
He was the man.
Would you believe me if I told you that my fantasy team last year, despite Tyreek Hill, led the league in points? I had Hubbard, McLaurin, JSN, Christian McCaffrey, James Conner, Trey McBride. I had another really good wide receiver. Like,
I had such a good team last year, and I finished just outside of the playoffs.
And I had Saquon. Yeah, I lost in the final because everyone wanted to lay an egg. Let's go to break. 20 minutes down. A lot more to go. A lot of golf talk. Hope you enjoyed our fantasy chat. This has been episode 1 of the Fantasy Football Show here on Underground Sports, the unnamed Fantasy Football Show.
Subscribe to get in the whole pod.
Get in the Hole is brought to you by our amazing merch partners, PHI Apparel Company. With their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Rep your favorite golf podcast and get your official Get in the Hole shirts and hoodies at phiapparel.co. When you check out, use code UNDERGROUND to get 10% off your entire order. Again, that's code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order at phiapparel.co. Stand out in the crowd, on the course, at the 19th hole, or quite frankly, anywhere with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to your favorite golf podcast, They Get in the Whole podcast right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia and the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network, streaming live on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you can get a hold of these two handsome gentlemen in the sick 47 fitted hats, right? Another great episode here of PGA Tour action. We're going to give you all of the insights for the FedEx Cup as we trend in to the BMW. Justin Rose winning the FedEx St. Jude in playoff fashion. We'll chat Ryder Cup. We'll see who is in the field at the BMW this week. We got some cheers, some jeers, some births, and maybe the greatest birthday in this show's history, as well as some interesting developments in the world of CBS and the viewership over the year for the PGA Tour. But before we get into that, I mentioned them just now. KB and I are rocking the hats, so we have to talk about it. 47 brand, the official hat wear sponsor of They Get in the Whole podcast and Underground Sports Philadelphia. Link in our description to get your hands on some awesome 47 merchandise. They have their Carhartt collection that's been rocking with Bryce Harper. Brand new collections popping up almost every single day. And of course, how can we talk about 47 and not talk about their bird technology, their golf wear, the stuff that's going to keep you cool on the golf course all summer long? Check them out. Link in our description. You can get a ton of different styles for your favorite sports team, college, pro, and of course, the official headwear provider of the TGL 47 brand. Go check them out. Link in our description.
The Forward collection might be my new favorite lightweight hoodie, quarter zip, trucker hat style rope hat to wear out. Steve, you need to get as much of this for the fall swing of your golfing, of just personal golfing, because I saw a bunch of this in the 47 Alley store at Citizens Bank Park. So I saw the Phillies version of stuff. They have it for the NFL and NCAA teams as well. It is so soft, but so lightweight that you're not going to sweat like crazy out on the golf course in this stuff. Check out the Forward collection from 47 and thank us later.
Yeah, definitely going to have to rock one of these hoodies, but that 85 price tag for the quality that you can get out of 47 brand, I'm telling you, certainly worth the investment. I'm going to be checking this out. I'm pissed off that the Mets got rid of their 47 store because they had it forever. and they got rid of it for like a kid's dugout shop, and I'm mad about it. So folks over at City Field, Steve Cohen, if you're listening, please get us back that awesome 47 shop.
So what we getting done today?
The usual.
My mama told me before I left my town. My mama told me.
Perfect.
I'm going home.
KB, big time week on the PGA Tour. You cashed in a fat checks on Sunday. That was big time. I was quite
shout out, no free shout outs, DraftKings, for the live odds boost on the top 20 and up parlay booster. I felt great when I placed that. The only thing I regret, Steve, is that I toggled back and forth of putting our guy, Andrew Novak, at a top 10 rather than a top 20. And I wish I would have slammed him at a top 10 because that boy was surging. But I played it a little safe. And at the end of the day, a $10 bet to almost 7x was a nice little Sunday afternoon ticket cash at the window.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely huge. I was not actively watching the round. I was out camping with no service, but I did get a chance when I stopped at the ShopRite to get food, and I walk in. I'm like, oh, it's Sunday. I should check the leaderboard, and lo and behold, who's in first place on the 12th hole? But Tommy Fleetwood, and I'm like, oh, is this gonna be the day? Now it's funny because the last time Tommy Fleetwood was in contention, I was at a friend's house in Boston. So I'm back in the New England area. I'm like an hour away from where I was the last time with the Travelers. Actually, I was like 20 minutes away from Cromwell, Connecticut. So I'm like, all right, maybe this is a good sign. I'm back in New England, back in the Connecticut groove. Maybe Fleetwood will pull it out. And lo and behold, maybe the most telling statistic of the week comes via Justin Ray. You cannot make this stuff up if you even tried. Tommy Fleetwood, this is like actually like absurd. First of all, he barely made like any putts throughout the week from distance. He was so great proximity wise to the hole every single day. But listen to this. In his first 52 holes, he had 20 birdies. His last 11 holes, he had none. Holes where Tommy Fleetwood missed the fairway, missed the green in regulation, and made bogey or worse. In his first 53 holes, 1. In his final 2 holes, 2. He blew it in the last 3 holes. And
shot 69-69 on the final 2 days of the event.
And guess what? When it's the final day of an event and there are guys pressing up against the cut line of who's going to make the BMW or not, unfortunately, you need to play better than that. There are very few instances in golf over the last, let's call it 5 years, where guys can shoot almost even par and manage to win. And I'm talking that's when you have a 7-stroke lead going into Sunday. Like Tommy wasn't there. Justin Rose goes surging. He birdies 4 of the last 5 holes. Makes a huge par save on 18 to force the playoff. JJ Spawn, 2 birdies in his last 3 holes. Even like Scotty Scheffler, 2 in his last 3. All of these guys made huge pushes late. Cameron Young had 9 birdies, right, on the day, or 8 birdies on the day, shot 5 under to get all the way up to 5th. Ricky Fowler had a tremendous week. Guys who needed to make big-time runs. Kirk Kitayama jumped all the way up in the top 50. Unfortunately for Tommy Fleetwood, just simply was not good enough. And it's a shame because this was his chance. He now has the most top 10s out of any golfer in the last 45 years. He has like 29 top 10s. He has, I think, 12 runner-ups now at this point and 162 starts.
I think he has like 29 top 10s. I think it's 12 top 5s and like 40 some odd top 20s.
Like it's terrible. Like I feel awful for the man, and every single week he gets asked questions. He's like talk us through like what you're feeling. And someone made a compilation of like all of his like runner-up finishes in the last like 3 years, and he says the same thing every time. He's like, I'm mad about it now, but like I'll get over it. Like I played well. I'll try and take things out of it. I mean, look, he's currently 8th in the FedEx Cup standings. He's in position right now to make a good run at the BMW. He's been in every single event this year with the exception of like 3 or 4. So he's got a shot. It's unfortunate to see yet another week go by, particularly when the week prior Cameron Young goes out and finally nets his first. It's like at some point you just got to question, like, are we going to take Tommy Fleetwood now every single week until he wins? Because it's only a matter of time.
I do have to say a couple things here. One, Rory McIlroy could learn a thing or two from Tommy Fleetwood doing media, especially when you're down. Number 2, is it good for golf, Steve, to have someone who is a week in and week out? And you guys know Tommy Fleetwood's my guy. He's the very first PGA Tour golfer to acknowledge my existence. Is it a good thing, though, for the PGA Tour to have someone who is a known choker?
No, because, and we'll talk about it later. Or actually, you know what? We might as well bring it up right now, because I think it flows well into this. So, like, CBS announced a 17% year-over-year boost in viewership. It's the best season of PGA Tour golf since 2018. So you want to bring that up? What's the reason for it? Well, I'll tell you, it's compelling golf. Big time names are winning. Big time names are losing. I don't think Tommy Fleetwood choking is the story they want. I think people actually they want to see Tommy Fleetwood win.
May not be the story they want, but it might be one of the stories they need. Because guess what? Tommy Fleetwood is becoming that, and I put air quotes here because I'm just saying, he's becoming the lovable loser that everyone is going to tune in on Sunday if he's in the mix to see if he finally gets over the hump.
You know what?
And guess what? If he doesn't, everyone will feel bad for him like we do, and as you should. Like, he's a guy that puts in the work, grinds his ass off. He's a great dude. But then when it inevitably happens, you'll have a massive, audience of people watching, but people are going to tune in to see if that guy who, for all intents and purposes, Tommy Fleetwood, great golfer. He's great. He just hasn't won on the PGA Tour. But for all intents and purposes of like what he does as a golfer, he's fucking good golfer. But
yeah,
when you're watching it on TV, you want those compelling storylines, and a guy who's never gotten over the hump, who's never gotten it done before, if you have the opportunity to market that to your audience on a Saturday and Sunday, to watch him at the turn, to watch him go for that first illustrious win, that's good TV. That's good drama.
Here's my only complaint, and I'll steal a page out of the Pat Pitt's book here. It's different when you're the lovable loser who chokes and you're the heel who chokes. When you're the enemy of the state and no one likes you and you choke, that's when everyone wants to see it. No one wants to see a known choker. Do you remember when the Cubs back in the 90s were like really fucking bad?
I mean,
and not a single in the early 90s.
6.
Yeah.
I was being born.
Not a single soul wanted to watch the Chicago Cubs. No one wanted to watch them.
Yeah, Wrigley, and then that made 2016 so ultimately awesome.
Hold on. But like Wrigley Field was empty. No one wanted to attend games.
Yeah, but that's also a team sport.
I know. But think about it. And this is why I bring up the lovable loser thing, right? Like the Cubs were that. The problem with the Cubs is that people felt bad for them because ultimately yes, they were horrible in some years and they were great in others. But it wasn't until they made it deep, I think in like the early 2000s, people started to really be like, all right, you know what? Like, let's kind of get back into this. Maybe they're starting to like turn the corner a little bit. I just don't think that Tommy Fleetwood is somebody who, again, we're all rooting for him to win. But I think it's sweeter when you're rooting for them to lose. Like you have the enemy. That's going to bring you more viewership than the guy that's going to be the loser.
It's the two sides of the scale, though. Like, yes, when you have the collective army, like, rooting on the downfall of somebody like, you know, for, as an example, like, nobody likes Patrick Reed. People want to see Patrick Reed lose. But on the flip side, when everyone in the sport can get behind one guy and wants to see that one guy succeed, and he's got the entire golf world in the palm of his hand, rooting for him, wanting him to get over the hump, and he gets that collectively week in and week out, it's the opposite end of that. Here's the heel, here's the hero. Like, it's almost like Spider-Man in a way, where like Spider-Man is like, and not that Tommy Fleetwood is like this young phenom golfer, but Spider-Man is the one that typically always relies on another character to come into his story and help him save the day. The day Tommy Fleetwood gets over the hump and wins on the PGA Tour, that is like what we are about to witness in the MCU with Spider-Man, where nobody remembers who Spider-Man is, and he's got to do it on his own. That's what's going to be so gratifying and so fulfilling for everyone in golf, because he is so likable, because he is such just someone that you can easily root for. And when it happens and everyone's watching and everyone's rooting for it, I can't wait to see those TV ratings.
I think like we all love a redemption story, and obviously like Keegan Bradley is proof of that when he won at the Travelers again. But it was that story. Hey, Ryder Cup year, Keegan Bradley like going to be the captain of this team, could be a player captain, and then he goes out and wins when he beats Tommy Fleetwood. That got some of the most ratings, and you could argue it's because people wanted to see Fleetwood, it's because people wanted to see Keegan Bradley in a home game. Like there's definitely multiple reasons why that viewership was so high for that week. But maybe I'm biased. Maybe I just don't see the joy, and I simply see the misery every time I go and I watch Tommy Fleetwood lose. And he goes to the media and he says the same song and dance because he's like, I don't know what to tell you. And sure, could he get a little bit like existential on everyone, like Scotty Scheffler can? Maybe, but like, I feel bad for the guy.
And that's again, what makes you come back week in and week out.
I'm biased because I don't want to believe that, but I know that it's true. Like everything I've said just now, right? It's sort of all been like word vomit, right? I truly do in my heart of hearts think that people do want to see Tommy Fleetwood win. They do. I don't think people want to see him lose. I think the viewership will always come because when you have a leaderboard, particularly in a playoff scenario, Rose, Spawn's going to be a Ryder Cup player who also won the U.S. Open. Scheffler, Cam Young, Ricky Fowler, Akshay is in the top 10. Oberg, Cantlay, Siwoo, like those are names that are compelling and you're interested down the stretch. But I think that the bigger tell for this year-over-year jump in viewership was that last year the PGA Tour just wasn't compelling. Time winners, low voltage, guys like the hype wasn't the same. This year you get a Rory victory, you get Fleetwood burning twice, you get some great major moments. Obviously Spawn's putt was huge. But to say that Tommy Fleetwood losing is the reason why everyone is trying to flock to the PGA Tour now and grow viewership, I think is a fallacy. And I don't want to believe that his misery is leading to everyone else's viewership tendencies.
It's the old saying, Steve. Misery loves company.
Believe me, I'm a Mets fan. I know all about it. I was talking to some friends about this. We were talking about how, as Jets fans, I said that they should limit their expectations because the less they expect out of their team, the less they'll be hurt. And I'm like, well, the Mets were supposed to win 70 games last year, and they went to the NLCS. Like, I was surprised they even made it there in the first place. So, like, I can't be upset with that. It didn't hurt when they lost the NLCS. It hurt when they lost the World Series because I'm like, I had high hopes for this team, and they sucked, and then all of a sudden they came back up. But like, the Jets will always be bad. Tommy Fleetwood will always be good. Tommy Fleetwood is the Yankees of the last decade and a half. He will always make the playoffs. He will always make it to the ALCS. But will he ever cross the finish line? I don't know. And whether it's him choking, it's him having the yips, it's him having some sort of existential crisis when it comes to crunch time. And look, as golfers are known statistically. And James Colgan did a great article on this in golf.com. Down the stretch, golfers are notable for being choke artists. Anybody, doesn't matter who it is. The only person who this doesn't apply to is Tiger Woods. Because mentally, where our head goes and where our body goes and where our thoughts go is immediately to the negative. How can I just simply hold the lead? Not let me play loose. And Chris Kirk actually had a great quote about this years ago. He was like, the end of the day, this is when he came back from his alcoholism break and was like, I've learned to just be more loose with myself and say that things are okay and turn the page when I have to. Every single hole is a new journey. You go through things differently. You learn to accept yourself. When some guys miss a putt and they're like punching themselves over it, it only adds on to the problems. I don't know what's happening in Tommy Fleetwood's head, but I'm hoping he turns it around. And I truly, in my heart of hearts, think he can win not only this week at the BMW, he can win the FedEx Cup because he has the skills to do it, particularly at these next two golf courses. I just think he needs to get out of his own head and look towards the finish line and just relax.
Stevie life coach over here.
I'm trying, man. I'm just trying to maintain a good spirit. Trying to feel good about myself and the situation. On the other side of things, though, Justin Rose, I literally said it going into the week, that a weird name always wins in the playoffs. Tony Finau won a couple of years ago. If you look at like top of the leaderboard over the last few years, like winners at the BMW have been like diverse. Patrick Cantlay has won there. In the past, John Rahm, like Keegan won in 2024, Hovland won in 23, Mark Leishman won in 17. So like there's a lot of like diversity. I will be the first person to admit to you though that Justin Rose was the last person that I thought was going to win this event. He was a great putter, and he still is, but I did not think that somebody who hits the ball that short was going to triumph so well over the field, and on top of that, gain so much strokes off the tee for the way he did play, which is incredible. So good on Justin Rose. We'll talk more about him in a little bit. Let's get to the cut line here and see who's in and out at the BMW, who missed their shot to move on to the next round in the top 50. Move on to the BMW. Unfortunately for Aldrich Potgieter, a 52nd place finish cuts him out. It's crazy because he was the only rookie in the playoffs to begin with, had a win and a runner-up, and still finished 52nd. Aaron Rai 53rd, Jordan Spieth 54th after a tough week. Jake Knapp fell out of contention late on Sunday to fall down to 55. Wyndham Clark, Minwoo Lee, despite finishing his last round in 2 hours and 10 minutes, finished in second to last for a 57th place spot. And Tony Finau, another notable, finishing at 66th. They will all miss the field at the BMW. JT Poston sneaks right in along with Johnny Vegas, Ricky Fowler, Bud Cauley, who's had a tremendous second half of the year. And let me tell you, maybe the biggest surprise to me this year, and we brought it up with Max, Tom Hoagie has not been in contention since March. and I'm shocked he's in the top 50. This is the ultimate story of when Kevin Kisner said you make a lot of money coming in 20th. Going back to the beginning of the season, Tom Hoagie exclusively has 6 top 25 finishes. In all of them, he's finished in the top 20. He finished 3rd at the Players, 5th at the Valero, and 8th at the Century, 7th at the Memorial. In his last 7 events, going back to the PGA Championship, cut, T7, cut, T45, cut, and he finished 64th this week at the FedEx and managed to make it in the top 50. I must ask you, KB, do we need to revise the FedEx Cup point system here? It's amazing how poor Tom Hoagie played outside of a 4-week stretch in March and April, and he's in the top 50.
Hey, sometimes you just got to be good enough, as the old saying goes. Sometimes you don't gotta give it your all, but you just gotta be good enough. And that's exactly what Tom Hoagie's been. He's been good enough. He's like a good hoagie.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy. In his last 25 starts, Aaron Rye, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at the count, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 top 25s. 3 top 5s. And you're telling me the guy missed after finishing 22nd in this event? Crazy talk. Absolute crazy talk.
He did just enough. He's like Tyrese Halliburton.
But lots of great movement for a lot of names this week. Of course, Ricky Fowler jumped over 20 points, finishing T6. He finished at 48th. We look towards guys like Matt Fitzpatrick, who had a complete overhaul of his season late in the year. He's all the way up to 40th. Akshay Bhatia, a gigantic jump, finishing 6th, T6 this week. He will jump all the way up. Where is he on this list? He's all the way up to, oh my God, where are you? 29th in the FedEx Cup. Kurt Kitayama is up to 37th with his top 20 finish. Bunch of big-time movement this week. And oddly enough, with Rory McIlroy out this week, still finishes 2nd, while Spawn is the runner-up. Current top 10 standings as we head into the BMW. Scotty Scheffler in 1st, Rory in 2nd, Spawn in 3rd, Rose 4th, followed by Straka, Henley, Griffin, Fleetwood, Thomas, and English round out the top 10 en route to the BMW. As I mentioned, Jordan Spieth out of the field now, along with Jake Knapp, Aaron Rye, Wyndham Clark, Minwoo Lee, and Tony Finau, just to name a few notables. Question is now, though, as we go into the second to last week of the PGA Tour season, automatic qualifiers for the Ryder Cup lock after this week. It's a big, big, big week. We're going to basically figure out who the teams are going to be after we tee it off here in Maryland this weekend. It was announced today, Xander Schauffele officially automatically qualified for the USA team along with JJ Spawn. So we will, in fact, see Scotty Scheffler, Spawn, and Xander Schauffele on the team. On the European side, we also have locked in 3 automatic qualifiers. Rory, Justin Rose with the win, lost in his 2nd spot, and Tommy Fleetwood will be going to Bethpage with the rest of the field up in the air. I want to ask you this, as it stands right now. There's obviously a lot of names who need to have a good week this week as we clinch from 50 down to 30, trying to figure out who's going to end up being on this Ryder Cup team. If you had to give me your teams right now, your 6 captains picks for both the USA and Europe, who would you have?
Ooh, you're asking a lot of my clogged up brain, Steve. I'm just looking at the notes. Justin Rose should be on the European team.
Well, he will in fact be. He's qualified for it automatically.
I'm just saying, even before this weekend, especially after, that dude's just been playing out of his fucking mind.
Yes,
the whole year. Even before this week, I feel like to a degree earned it. Now, without a doubt, that dude's gonna be a force on that team.
Yeah, no, Justin Rose, by the way, I mean, he's been on the Ryder Cup team for the last 6 years. The guy's been here forever. Last 3 weeks, finished 6th at the Scottish Open, 16th at the Open, and now a win here at the FedEx St. Jude. Multiple runner-ups this year. He finished 3rd at Pebble Beach, 8th at the Arnold Palmer. He has 7 top 25s even prior to the last 3 weeks. So he has had plenty of great movement. If you look at, I mean, the AQs obviously are already set. I think for the most part, we can basically lock in the guys who are ranked 4 through 6, which is Russell Henley, Bryson, and Harris English. On the European side, that would be Robbie McIntyre, Tyrrell Hatton, and Sepp Straka. They're basically all locked in. Straka is not playing this week, so he might get upended by a Ludwig Oberg or a Shane Lowry. It's possible. But Sepp Straka will, in fact, be on this team. I will let you mention your team if you want to go first. But as it stands right now, I think we actually have a lot of clarity on who deserves to be on these teams. And I've been flip-flopping for weeks about how I feel about the USA team and how it seems like a weak team. But I'm starting to come around on my thoughts. I'll start with Europe. So obviously we have Rory, Rose, Fleetwood, McIntyre, Hatton, and Straka. I mean, Shane Lowry and Ludwig Oberg will be on this team. Victor Hovland will be on there. So the final 3 spots, the way I see it, it's absolutely going to Matt Fitzpatrick. He should be there. I would really consider Harry Hall to be on this team, believe it or not. If there's one guy who, for most of the year, has been so overly consistent, you go back to prior to the PGA Championship, the Myrtle Beach Classic. He has finished in the top 30 every single week. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. His last 10 events, he's finished in the top 25 in every single event. He's finished top 10 at the Travelers, at the Charles Schwab. Like, he's had a tremendous run this year on top of finishing top 10 at the Century and the Sony Open. Like, this is going to be an event where Harry Hall is arguably the best European putter on the planet. That's saying something with Justin Rose right there, and Rory McIlroy as well. Like, his putting numbers are literally Sam Burns level good. I would love to see Harry Hall on this team rocking the flat cap. And I know that those final 2 spots are probably going to go to John Rahm. And there's a possibility with how legendary he has been in Ryder Cups. Sergio Garcia has had a tremendous year on LIVGolf. I think it's tough to not consider him to be on your Ryder Cup team. But if I had to give the 12th spot to somebody who wasn't Sergio Garcia, I would likely give it to Tom Dietrich. He's had a tremendous year, and think he certainly deserves a look. There's also Matt Wallace, who's technically ahead of both Fitz and Dietrich on the list. I just think Dietrich's got the better overall game that fits Bethpage. But
I mean, is John Rahm's choke in Chicago going to cost him a spot?
No, absolutely not.
Couldn't get it done.
John Rahm's been one of the most consistent Ryder Cup golfers in the last 5 years, 6 years. So you can't not have John Rahm on the team.
I mean, for Team USA, I also got to say, and I know you agree, like, Andrew Novak has to be on this team.
I'm leaning this way. So it
has to be.
Here's my issue, right? And it sucks because in the last 5 weeks, Chris Gotterup has gotten in the conversation. Cameron Young is now firmly in the conversation, whether you like it or not. There has to be some sort of consideration put into play right now still for Patrick Cantlay, because he's probably the best match player on this team. And you pair him with Xander Schauffele, that might be the best foursomes team on tour. Like, it's hard to argue that.
That's all well and good. I'm talking full body of work this year. I've said it a number of times on this show. We've talked about it in text. We talked about it in media rooms. Steve, who has been the most consistent player from the United States on tour this year, week in and week out, just flying under the radar, puts his head down, brings his lunch to work in a pail, and goes to work? It's Andrew fucking Novak. That dude has been unbelievable this year.
I hate to go against you on this point, and I hope we have Andrew on in the coming weeks, because he's a tremendous laid back guy, and he is a great golfer. He's played great this year. But there have been two guys who have been more consistent than Andrew Novak this year and will absolutely be on this team, in my opinion. And it's the only reason why Andrew Novak will get edged out. First of all, you cannot talk about the story of the PGA Tour without mentioning two-time winner Ben Griffin, even though one of those wins came at the Zurich.
Fair.
What?
I said fair.
Yeah. Like, even though that win at the Zurich came with Andrew Novak, of course, like, Ben Griffin in his last 10 events dating back to the PGA Championship has missed 2 cuts, and those are his only 2 finishes outside of, get this, the top 14. He has been on a bender the whole second half of the year. He's only missed strokes.
He's been on a bend.
He's gained strokes in almost every single event the entire year. Ben Griffin is going to be on this team firmly, and in my opinion, he's my second captain's pick, only behind Justin Thomas. I am not on the wagon right now with Colin Morikawa, and
that's what I'm saying.
We obviously know. Well, hold on, we know the situation here, right? 5 caddies, 12 different putters. The guy run. Literally, it's the Katy Perry lyric. You change your mind like a girl changes clothes. This man just fucking runs the gamut.
He feels like a plastic bag, okay? And you want to talk about inconsistency? I don't need Mr. Inconsistent fucking bobbing and weaving like I'm a snake over here in Colin Morikawa on this team because he can't figure things out. He's more indecisive than Professor Calamitous from Jimmy Neutron.
And it's incredible because Colin Morikawa has been so good at Ryder Cups.
I don't trust him.
But it's the same reason why I didn't want Justin Thomas when he missed the FedEx Cup playoff a couple of years ago. So, anywho, look at this team. Right?
I don't trust Colin, and genuinely, like, Andrew Novak has been unbelievable. Doesn't get enough praise for just how consistent he's been. I'm totally in on Ben Griffin being on the team for sure, but Ben Griffin also doesn't win the Zurich without Andrew Novak.
This is where I stand right now. All right. So our AQs: Scheffler, Spawn, Schauffele, Henley, DeChambeau, English. The first captain's pick is going to JT. That's just undeniable. We already know he's going to be there. Ben Griffin gets my second nod. My third is definitively going to Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley will be playing and captaining this team. Who his vice captain will be, who will have captaincy duties while he's playing, I don't know. Probably Jim Furyk. Man who's won before. There's the next 3 guys that I name have not been as consistent as Keegan Bradley has the entirety of the year. If he does not pick himself, I think it's a travesty. And people have gotten on him lately for being like, oh, like, you pick yourself, it's kind of selfish. No. Like, you're trying to win. And nobody's going to have more passion than Keegan Bradley, the hometown guy, to a degree. Went to St. John's, played at Bethpage. Stories of him sneaking on to the front 9 at Black back in college and getting caught. Keegan Bradley's my 9th guy on this roster. My 10th, as it stands right now, unfortunately, not even unfortunately, he deserves to be here because of his form in the last 3 weeks, and he's trending in the right direction to where I actually might trust him enough. Cameron Young is the hometown guy here. From New York, from upstate New York, plays at Sleepy Hollow. He's won an amateur tournament or 2 at Bethpage in the past. I mean, a win and a top 5 in 2 of the biggest events, in 2 of his biggest events of the year. He has finished top 5 at the Canadian Open, at the U.S. Open. He's had his runs. I don't think Cameron Young gets a lot of respect because of the fact that it took him so long to get his first win. But the fact of the matter is, this golf course fits his game to a T. He's tremendous off the tee. He's a good enough putter. He's certainly above average. The accuracy is a question mark, but ultimately you can get by being a little inaccurate at Bethpage, but your ball striking needs to be prominent. That's where Cameron Young thrives, and I think he will be a really good partner to somebody who offsets him, kind of like a Spawn or a Griffin would certainly fit, I think, in that idea. So I am putting Cameron Young right now as my 10th man on the roster. Those final 2 spots, ultimately, I think land right now to Patrick Cantlay, because again, he is a match play baller, and he's going to be paired up with Xander Schauffele. And that final spot, I'm sorry to Andrew Novak, but I'm going to be forced, kind of, sort of, to go with a veteran. I'm going to have rookie Cameron Young. I'm going to have rookie Ben Griffin. Keegan Bradley's going to have his hands full. I'm going to have rookie Russell Henley and JJ Spawn as well. If I have to go with a veteran, I may be forced to take Sam Burns. Just the putting contest, that's so important, and the fact that he can play the ball so well on this golf course. The driving distance is there. His around the green play is really good, and of course, the putting is second nature. I'm leaning Sam Burns over Andrew Novak, and it's nothing to Andrew. I just think that the skill sets necessary to win a Ryder Cup is not just your overall consistency. You could, particularly in a 4-ball or an alt shot, you need to be able to manage in thriving in certain areas where your partner might not. And you pair him with like a Bryson DeChambeau, I think it's a home run.
Can I share something on my screen that's pretty interesting?
Go right ahead. I'll close our.
Let me just join from my laptop here because this is pretty fascinating. Not gonna lie. Let me open up my screenshots so this stays blind. There we go. And we're going to do a little one of these things. And this one. Take a peek at this here, Stevie.
Oh, boy.
The old chart.
All right.
2 players comped here.
Well, one of them is going to be Andrew Novak. I'm forced into submission on that one.
Which one would you rather have, just based off these numbies here on these little point and dot charts on the Ryder Cup team?
To play in a Ryder Cup, I mean, the problem is it depends, right? Like if he's going to play a 4-ball, if you're going to go into singles where some things lack, the putter will always ring true. I have a feeling, just definitively, the red is Sam Burns and the blue is Andrew Novak.
Correct.
Pretty
crazy.
The putter gave it away. I mean, the around the green is so important.
So diametrically opposed.
But hold on. I would argue the 3 biggest things to win at Bethpage, right? You need driving distance, which is going to be huge. So off the tee, they're essentially the same person. The putter is going to need to perform top level. And honestly, I would say your approach play is probably more important. But you can be short on approach and make up with it with your putting. Truthfully, with this chart, I don't know who I take.
The totals, though, is pretty wild with how close they are.
Well, because think about it. Sam Burns is converting more eagle and birdie opportunities to Andrew Novak, but Andrew's playing more consistent golf. He's better around the greens, and he's making more par saves. So,
and his approach to the green is better.
Yeah, here's the thing. Andrew Novak in a vacuum is better within 150 yards than Sam Burns is. But Sam Burns is better within 30 yards, 30 feet. And technically speaking, he's better within 400 yards. So,
and on top of that, that's not saying Andrew Novak's bad at putting either, because that's a average to a slightly above average putting number.
Yeah, no. Looking at the season so far, Andrew Novak is actually he's at the 1.5 strokes gained total number for putting, 1.3, which is definitely above average for similar players. I mean, God Almighty, man. I'm gonna have to. I think I need a long form TikTok here comparing Andrew Novak to Sam Burns and really kind of like getting into the nitty gritty here.
I'm just gonna say, tread lightly, because Andrew Novak does indeed host a fantasy football podcast.
Fuck. Oh, do I now have no choice but to take Andrew Novak in the hopes that he comes in the show?
and starts doing and brings you on board as a third mic for his fantasy show, and we just bring it under the umbrella.
Andrew, you're a great guy, man.
Andrew Novak is hashtag one of my guys.
You know what the problem is, though, and this is kind of the larger point that I want to make here. While Keegan Bradley deserves to be on this team, he's cucking over Andrew Novak.
Yup,
being on this team.
Captain Keegan, more like Captain Cuck.
Like the harsh reality here is that like he is screwing over somebody on this team. But again, like it's undeniable that Keegan Bradley has been the most consistent golfer outside of Ben Griffin, who's going to be a captain's pick, even arguably better than JT. And Keegan's been a merchant around the greens the entirety of the year. The only thing actually going for Andrew Novak over Keegan right now is that Keegan's had a last 4 outings, 41st, 30th, cut, 44th. Like it's a slippery slope, but he's thrived at the courses where it's mattered the most. Top 10s at the Memorial, at the PGA, at the Travelers, the RBC Heritage, the Players, Arnold Palmer. So like he's got, he has the ability and he has a skill set. But Cameron Young also in the last 2 weeks coming in and just being a bigger name also to Chris Gotterup, who's the other interesting case study here. Like Chris Gotterup is going to finish probably 14th on my list behind Andrew Novak because he put up a great 3 weeks. Unfortunately, Cameron Young is just the bigger name. And now that he's trending in the right direction, all of a sudden I'm looking at him and I'm like, if he plays well this week, then there's no way you can't give him consideration. Because now that all of a sudden that's 4 straight great weeks.
And this was Andrew Novak's best finish
ever.
In terms of weight of the tournament, like what the event was versus how he played. Like he was sensational this weekend.
That's the problem too, right? Like when you're 11th in the FedEx Cup standings, like the numbers speak for itself. Like you are where you are. And you can make the argument, all right, it's a little bit inflated because of the win at the Zurich, and it's like a Mickey Mouse win. It's half of a win. But like he firmly deserves to be in the top 20. Like that's the truth. Final point here before we cut the break. I do think that as we look at the teams right now, I'm more confident in the USA team than I have been ever. At least this season talking about it. I didn't know how I felt about Spawn. I didn't know how I felt about Ben Griffin and Andrew Novak and Cameron Young and Keegan Bradley. But the more and more I look at it, they're thriving in environments where traditionally golfers like them shouldn't be thriving in. Like they're winning events in conditions that don't necessarily fit their golf game, and they adjust to the style. And that's really important in team play. And I think ultimately a lot of this comes down to, can Keegan Bradley curate the right team? I think Zach Johnson didn't put together a bad team. I think he put together bad groups, which caused bigger problems. Steve Stricker won the Ryder Cup because he put together the right groups, the right teams. Bryson and Scotty was tremendous. Colin and Dustin Johnson was absolutely amazing. Cantlay and Schauffele is hands down the best 4-ball team in the field. It's just you need to create the right team, and I think Keegan Bradley, knowing all these guys and playing with them every single week, has a really good shot at actually making heads turn with a team with a lot of rookies, which you don't usually see.
Now, just looking at the top 6s here for each team, Steve, I'm going to read them off to you.
Yeah.
You tell me whether you want to do a 1v1, 2v2, 3, however you want to like break it down. You tell me who you would rather have. All right.
I don't even need to look at the list to tell you that Europe's better on paper.
So 1 for USA, Scotty versus Rory. Who would you rather have?
Rory in a Ryder Cup.
I disagree.
Rory in a Ryder Cup, Scotty Scheffler any other week.
Scotty in fucking USA fucking backyard.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, Rory McIlroy is a different being when it comes to events like this.
Is he going to talk to the media though?
Probably not.
JJ Spawn, who I will say has shown, and I think I speak for you, has shown a lot to earn his spot It doesn't feel as Mickey Mouse as it did a few months ago.
Yeah.
JJ Spawn versus Justin Rose.
Because of his track record, Justin Rose.
I agree. Xander Schauffele versus Tommy Fleetwood.
Is Tommy going to bogey 17 and 18?
Remains to be seen.
For match play reasons, Fleetwood's the better match play. Xander's the better team event. It's even.
Russell Henley for Team USA. Bobby Mack.
Two rookies. Well, actually, no. Bobby Mack was in Marco Simone. Russell Henley's probably going to be the better 1v1 guy, but McIntyre is the better team player. I think it's pretty even there too.
Bryson for Team USA. Tyrrell Hatton. Live versus Live.
If the Leprechaun doesn't get mad at himself, Tyrrell Hatton.
See, I lean Bryson. I think Bryson's been playing some great golf.
I'm only anti Bryson because he might be too erratic off the tee. I'm a little bit concerned with that.
And then Harris English.
Also, like fairway length, and as somebody who's walked Bethpage Black in the last month, how close the stanchions are to the edges of the fairway, you need to be accurate, like wildly accurate. If he's even a touch off, there's room for concern.
And then Harris English for Team USA, Sepp Straka for Team Europe.
Also very even. I'm leaning the Mean Machine in the red and black.
I agree.
Actually, wait. They're both Georgia Bulldogs. Fuck.
Well,
Shit.
it's the Sepp Machine in the red and black in this case.
Harris English was a great all-time Georgia Bulldog, though.
Which, like, the way I view this top six is relatively even, splitting it up, like putting the M&Ms on the scale.
But like it is, but it's when you get to the captain's picks and you look at the veteran leadership, youthful veteran leadership for Europe: Lowry, Hovland, Fitzpatrick, Oberg, Rahm. Thomas Dietrich being the 12th man there is pretty damn good when you compare him to kind of sort of a handful of rookies and Justin Thomas. And then your captain. But you know what? We want to talk about omens. The last time we had a player captain for Team USA, they won the Ryder Cup. So,
and Steve, you know what? At the end of the day, as the old saying goes, this is why we play.
Any given Sunday, Chief. Any given Sunday. We're an hour and 11 in. We are probably on pace for the longest show in program history. We're going to take a short break. On the other side, we got our shout out to the week. We're also going to talk a little bit more about the CBS viewership jump, see what really is the reason why we've gotten such a high rating. And of course, we're going to give you our beer money picks for the BMW down in Maryland. Don't go anywhere, folks, for KB and Steve-O right here on Get in the Hole. We'll be right back.
Subscribe to Get in the Hole Pod.
My mom wants to call in, but she doesn't know anything about the Ryder Cup.
Why is my computer stalling? Come on.
Great podcasting.
This is fantastic podcasting.
Fantastic.
There we go. Your mom wants to call it.
What do we have?
Oh no, that was the breaking news. It was just my computer decided to stall as soon as you said
come
that. Your mom wanted
on.
to call in.
Give me something good next time.
What can I give you?
Justin, Scotty Scheffler's caddy, Ted Scott, will not be on the bag this week. He's actually attending to a personal matter. So that's pretty crazy.
Let's see. What can I? Oh, I'll give you a little breaking news. No free ads. I saw you were on this app, and you need to follow me back on it because we can conversate about this and utilize it to our best of our abilities. Brother, this Belly app is
Oh yeah,
a
bro.
life
Belly.
changer. Life changer.
I don't use Belly, and I really should.
My sister sent me the invite to it when we were at AJR last Wednesday, which was a phenomenal show. Brother, they brought out a marching band for their finale, and it was 3 local high school marching bands.
That's it.
The Belly app has changed my life.
Yeah, I need to get. So actually, I started really getting into this because I found an app in college called Untapped.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm a huge beer guy. So my friend Mike and we review beers whenever we get a chance. Actually, I've got to add a few more to my Rolodex from this weekend. But I haven't used Belly much. I need to get into Belly.
It's amazing because once you hit a certain number of like registered like places you've been and review them, it starts feeding you recommendations in your area of places you haven't been that they think you would like based on where you've already eaten.
Ooh, this is a game changer.
It's amazing. It's absolutely, as Joey Diaz would say, fucking tremendous.
It's fucking tremendous.
And it also has like jogged my memory of realizing I've eaten at a lot of places in my life. And I haven't realized that like I've eaten at some really fucking awesome restaurants.
I've tried so many beers, I feel like an alcoholic sometimes. So it's Kenwood Beer, though.
The ranking system is so good because like they start ranking them head to head, and if it's too difficult of a decision, you just hit too tough to decide, and then it gives them the same ranking.
That's sick.
It's amazing. Belly, please sponsor us.
There's actually I follow a couple who might have been the founder of Belly, but like they rank everywhere they go when they're in Manhattan. Yeah, it's called Belly Eats.
It's so awesome.
And they live in New York, so like it's naturally easy. But like they rank everywhere they eat. You should follow them on Instagram. They're actually a very strong follow.
What is the burger place you took DJ and I to, by the way? Because just bringing that up to you made me remember that we went there.
Was it All American in the fast food place?
Yeah.
All American in Massapequa.
Bang. Gotta add it to the list, baby.
Place is incredible. You can feed a family of four for $15. Shout out to Long Island's own, the place to be.
And that's how I curate it too. I curate like where I've eaten based on not only the food, but like the vibe, the ambiance, like give me the whole total package, and that's how I'm rating everything. Putting that on my list just hit me at 45 officially ranked establishments.
Well, when you come to Long Island for PLL weekend, I'll bring you to another good restaurant.
No Long Island this year.
Shame.
We'll figure something out. I just got fed a place that's 15 minutes from my house that I didn't know existed.
Well, end of the month, you come in the City Field to watch the Philadelphia Phillies get trounced by the New York Mets. Let's go Mets.
How's the weather down there? 6 games back in the division.
So it's time for our shout out to the week presented by Acorn Hills. Our favorite merch partner is changing clothing through conservation by offering eco-friendly packaging, materials, and clothing tags on styles that you'll love. It might be August 11th as we record on a Monday, but still plenty of time for the hot weather to come and go. You can jump in with Acorn Hills on their summer collection. Use code GITH15. That's getting the whole 15 for 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com. Again, code GITH15, where you can get 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com and look your best from the ground up. We begin our shout outs this week with one, Justin Rose. If you want to talk about like stories, and obviously we already talked about him winning this past week, but I think that there's a bigger story that we haven't hit on that I think is really important to talk about. As I said, Justin Rose is not the person who I had expected to win this week, but I think that Justin Rose proves a very valuable lesson to everybody. And I discovered this as well on Friday. Just because a course doesn't fit your game, or just because you aren't the strongest the smartest, the tallest, whatever it is. You can achieve anything by just playing your game. I played golf on Friday with an 80-year-old man. He shot me. We both shot 88. I hit the ball 270 off the tee. He hit a wood into every single green. He was incredible. I had like 5 3-putts. Shot an 88. I'm like, this is the worst 88 I've ever shot. He shot an 88. He goes, it's a pretty good round. You know why? He only hit the ball 150 yards, but he hit it straight every time. Justin Rose wasn't the longest hitter in the field. He certainly wasn't the guy course fit. But lo and behold, man, play your game and you can achieve anything. So shout out to Justin Rose. I want to turn this on its head and not give a shout out, but I want to give a jeer to the Corn Ferry Tour. Maybe one of the worst blunders in a long time occurred via Monday Q Info, who reported this. Due to a clerical error, MJ Defoe, by the way, a great name, made the field over Rayhan Thomas, despite not earning enough points through a medical exemption to keep his tour card. So he made the field this week. Rayhan Thomas was the first alternate. Had the clerical error been changed, Defoe would have been the 4th alternate in the field. Rayhan would have played. It's a horrible mishap for the Corn Ferry Tour, who kind of screwed over a player who needed opportunities in order to score well, to grow in the FedEx in the Corn Ferry Tour money list and points list to hopefully earn his tour card as we head towards the championship very soon. So a big jeer to the Corn Ferry Tour, who absolutely botched this one. KB, I will push to you for the next shout out.
Shout out to our good personal friend Max Homa, who, despite missing out on his shot at the FedEx Cup title, he did welcome his son Austin into the world this week. Big dad energy. Max Homa, our good personal friend Max Homa.
Austin Homa, pretty good name. You know,
good name.
Two sons, 2 for 2. That ain't bad. Although I feel like I want a daughter.
Hey, man.
If I have a daughter, bro, that kid's gonna be so fucking spoiled.
Shout out to Max Homa. Genuinely, I think about that often. Max Homa didn't have to give us the light of day and chose to talk to us after his round for like a clean 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, he was like, played better, but actually played like shit. And I'm like, yeah, accurate.
He's the fucking man. Like,
he's a great guy.
Like, Max, you are, not that you weren't before, but you are always welcome on this show, my friend.
Want to give a shout out to one of the future LPGA finest, who I've been watching since she was probably 12 years old, who is actually so incredibly talented that we don't give her enough appreciation.
What do you mean by that?
Been watching her play golf since she was 12 years old.
There you go. There you go. I'm just looking out for you, Steve. I'm being the eye in the sky.
She made the U.S. Women's Open as a 13 or 14-year-old. She was in the Augusta National Women's Amateur. She's now a Stanford Cardinal, and she's been absolutely blighting it up. I believe she's a senior or a junior. She's 22, I think. So she might be a grad student too. Stanford's finest, McAvoy, who, by the way, Homedale, New Jersey native.
Hell yeah.
So we got a local on the show. Well, she won the U.S. Women's Amateur at Bandon Dunes. She won 4-3 over Brooke Bierman in a match play style. The Cardinal standout is the 11th ranked amateur in the world. Got her 5th amateur win since 2017 with the victory. Also, she's rep by RLX, which is my brand, Ralph Lauren Golf. Love those guys. No free ads. If you want to sponsor me, please do. So McAvoy, big win at the U.S. Women's Amateur, gets another big-time trophy in her trophy case. KB, this is one of the best birthday shout-outs of the year. And I'm so very excited to announce this one. What's in your hand?
I was just getting ready for the birthday shout-outs.
Okay. Well, before you do that, I want to celebrate John Brody, who is celebrating this week his 90th birthday. Usually when we talk about people this old, they've usually passed on to greener pastures. And guys who have these illustrious resumes or fascinating. Well, John Brody, celebrating his 90th birthday this week, he's one of the very few, if any, in golf history who, in 1957, after graduating from Stanford University, shout out to McAvoy, was an All-American quarterback at Stanford. He was drafted by the 49ers at the 3rd overall pick in the draft, ahead of names like Len Dawson and the Express Jim Brown. He won the 1965 Comeback Player of the Year, the 1970 MVP, and first team All-Pro honors in the same year. He led the NFL in passing touchdowns and completion percentage twice, and in yards 3 times. He never won the Super Bowl, but he was one of the all-time greats of the 50s and 60s, according to Sports Illustrated. He retired from the NFL in 1973, and 13 years later transitioned to a senior PGA Tour golfer. He won once, recorded 12 top 10s, and had an over 13-year career. He also owns the longest gap between U.S. Open appearances. He played in the U.S. Open in 1959 as a second-year pro. In the offseason, he missed training camp by a week and said, "Sorry, coach," who I believe at the time was legendary coach Tom Landry. "I'm missing practice so I can go and play the U.S. Open." And they were like, "Yeah, go for it, bro." He also played in 1981, so that's an over 20-year gap between playing. Brody's a member of the College Football Hall of Fame. He is number 12 retired by the 49ers. And to honor his should-be induction into the NFL Hall of Fame, the 49ers unretired his number for one season so quarterback Trent Dilfer could wear the number to honor him and try and get him to join the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he has not been inducted yet. But he's in the 49ers Hall of Fame, as well as having his number retired by the team. So happy 90th to John Brody on maybe the only 2-sport athlete where golf is included in that 2-sport.
So were you saying his coach with the 49ers or with the
49ers?
So that would have been Bill Walsh, not Tom Landry.
Bill Walsh, not Tom Landry. Thank you. Also celebrating a birthday this week because it's a loaded week for birthdays, and I want to give them their flowers. Ethan's father, Ben Hogan, the actual father of golf, all-time absolutely incredible broadcasters, David Faherty and Dottie Pepper, and of course, Augusta National Chairman Fred Ridley celebrates his birthday this week as well. KB, we turn the floor over to you for our big-time birthdays of the week.
Celebrating birthday, born on this day in 1993, the ever-so-famous Allison Stoner, born in Toledo, Ohio.
Shout out to Camp Rock.
Also born on this day in 1992, Jose Ortiz Jr., a Puerto Rican jockey who won the Belmont Stakes in 2016. Born in Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico. Born on
Jose
this day in
made a lot of money.
He made a lot of people a lot of money. Born on this day in 1986, Pablo Sandoval, the Panda.
Kung Fu Panda, baby.
Born on this day, Steven, 1983. I need you to look here because this is a big one. Chris Hemsworth, Thor.
Huge.
Massive. Also born on this day, great name, the Hong Kong canto pop singer known for Madonna's Kiss, born in British Hong Kong, Fiona Sit. It sounds like a command to your dog. Also born on this day, Lee Suggs, former American football player, born in 1980. Born on this day in 1976, the originator of the Feeney call. Feeney! Will Friedle.
Love Will Friedle. Loved him in My Date with the President's Daughter.
Will Friedle may have one of the most eclectic catalogs of actors the world has ever seen.
You know what's crazy too? We need to acknowledge how good Will Friedle is. Like, that man has transcended time. The fact that he's 50 years old is shocking to me.
Obviously, Eric on Boy Meets World, My Date with the President's Daughter, reprised his role in Girl Meets World, was Ron in Kim Possible, was the voice of Batman in Batman Beyond. The dude is just...
Hold on, pause. He was Ron Stoppable?
Yeah. And Christy Carlson Romano was Kim Possible.
Oh my God. Wow.
Uh-huh. Dynamic duo. Shout out to Will Friedle.
Who was Shigo?
Who was Shigo?
My Sexual Awakening.
Was bonk. I'm gonna bonk you with Mjolnir.
Nicole Sullivan.
Yes.
And
Of King of Queens fame.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know Nicole Sullivan, you absolutely know her from the King of Queens.
Walking the Dog and Arthur.
She's also the best friend of the woman who plays the mom in every single rom-com teen movie ever. In 17 Again.
Yes. Also born on this day in 1975, Chris Kelly from Mac Daddy.
Okay.
Born in Teaneck, New Jersey. Also born on this day, Colorado Avalanche NHL defenseman Aaron Miller, born in 1971 in Buffalo, New York. Also born on this day, the best podcaster of all time,
Probably.
Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, born on this day in 1967 in Newark, New Jersey. Also born on this day, let's see here. The video game designer of Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami. I mean, you want to talk about an all-time creation. Resident Evil is certainly that. I don't know why breaking news is going off, but that's because we're celebrating birthdays. Who knew? Born on this day, 1963, Toronto Blue Jays outfielder Mike Huff, born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
What a name.
Yes. Also born on this day. Let's see. There is a couple other big ones. Oh, this is a great one, just a great name. 1953, American actor known for Foley Square, born in South Haven, Michigan. Sanford Jensen. Just an elite name. Sounds like a southpaw pitcher back in the day. Didn't get to live to see his birthday, and as the Iron Sheik would say, fuck the Hulk Hogan. It is Hulk Hogan's birthday today. Also born on this day.
American.
Steve Wozniak, American pioneer of the personal computer revolution in the 1970s and co-founder of Apple Computer, born in San Jose, California. Also born on this day, as I sift through the list here. Kenny Gamble, American songwriter and Philadelphia soul producer with Leon Huff, born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1943. Philly's finest. Just sifting through. This is phenomenal podcasting, but there's some good old school birthdays coming right up. It is... Here we go. Born on this day in either 1921, Alex Haley, American writer, wrote the autobiography of Malcolm X and also wrote Roots, was born in Ithaca, New York. Also born on this day, Mike Douglas in 1920, American big band singer of Kay Kaiser and TV talk show host of The Mike Douglas Show, born in 1920 in Chicago, Illinois. And let's see here if there's anyone else in the big names. I'm not even going to pretend to try to pronounce that name. We've got the Nobel Peace Prize in Medicine in 1929, Christian Eichmann, Dutch physician and bacteriologist.
It's Ekman.
Sure. This may be one of the This may be one of the best names of all time. Born in 1855, English cricket wicket keeper, born in Old Warden, England, Dick Pilling.
The couch is pilling, Dick.
My man's name was Viagra.
A few ones that you might have missed that I think are pretty notable. I want to give shout outs to Ian McDiarmid, who was Emperor Palpatine in the Star Wars franchise. Anna Gunn, who plays Skylar on Breaking Bad, who was probably the biggest villain who I hate in all of television, even though she didn't really do anything wrong. And Viola Davis turned 60 years old today.
That's a big one.
So big shout out to Viola Davis. Those are my my three that you might have missed.
Yep, that looks like that. Maybe I'm checking the one that always shows the YouTubers and everything.
No, fuck all them. They all suck.
But sometimes they have some good hidden ones.
You know his brother's tomorrow.
Who's that?
Dixie D'Amelio.
Yes, it is.
It is. KB, let's chat show ratings. So CBS came out, like we had said earlier, 70% year-over-year boost in viewership. What do you think is the reason why?
Parody.
Compelling storylines, top names winning.
Top names losing.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Scotty.
The Ryder Cup year as a whole, I think, is really kind of the one of the well-rounded like storylines. Like people are always interested in what's happening in a Ryder Cup year than Keegan Bradley. I think honestly, one of the things that stands out to me that I think is actually a big reason why is I think now the full swing is in season 3. More people are actually getting into golf as casual fans and are testing the waters of tuning in and seeing, hey, you know what, maybe I would be into more interested in this, particularly like down the stretch. And as events get later in the day, I think also viewership jumps in that regard. So it's kind of a positive and a negative effect. Like, are they really growing in viewership, or is it the fact that viewers are tuning in more towards the end of the round when it's more prime time hours on a Sunday, 6:30 when the rounds are clearing up? I think that certainly has a part to do with it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, golf is always in that weird spot where like you kind of have to like sift and search to find it a lot of the times. And
yeah,
I know the UFC just announced this morning that they are going to CBS and Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
no more pay-per-views.
But I will say, I think the big thing. Sorry, I cut you off. I think the big thing to keep in mind with this too. This is CBS in particular. So we're talking our Paramount Plus companions. Who again, shout out to Paramount Plus. Link in our description. You can get annual Paramount Plus. They like to be able to go to one collective spot. And I think streaming is also playing into this. The fact that you can get easy accessibility to it, I think is a very valuable tool that I think makes a lot of sense. So that to me is one of the prime reasons why viewership is getting up. And also we're getting to a point where we're starting to consolidate more and more in streaming. Like Hulu is now being absorbed by Disney Plus completely. Like eventually we're going to have cable again. Basically, we're going to have two.
Steve, I wonder if we could come together and find a way for all of these streaming platforms to just kind of give us the ability to swap back and forth between them without having to close out of an app and kind of just search a guide, if you will, and see what's on TV, see what we can watch all at once. Maybe we call it cable.
You're a dick, you know that? You're an absolute fuck.
Maybe we call it cable.
Just maybe.
Maybe the old heads did have a couple of things right.
You know, you sound like Dr. Evil when he's like, I'm gonna name my laser the Alan Parsons Project.
It's going to be the Cableinator.
Seth Green is like, dick. Like, what? The Alan Parsons Project was a band in the 90s.
I'm like Doofenshmirtz. I'm going to call my device the Cableinator. And I'm going to take over the tri-state area.
We'll take over the tri-state area with some beer money picks and tell the people where you can get their hands on Kenwood beer across the tri-state area.
Yes, indeed. It is Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Delaware, and Maryland areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. And Steve, I think if people are gearing up for more golf this weekend, there's no better place to tap in than with our friends at 5-Iron Golf. They are truly the best in the game. From their golf simulators to club fittings, it's the one-stop place to just kick back, relax, and watch golf on the big screen, hang out with your friends, hang out with your family, and just enjoy a perfect weekend getaway with our friends at 5-Iron Golf. Use our link in the description to book your next visit to 5-Iron Golf in your area. There's places all over Philadelphia, New York, and a whole bunch of markets up and down the United States. So go check out our friends at 5-Iron Golf. Use our link in the description to book your next visit.
We go right to a top 20 pick for our beer money selections. I'm going to start off. I'm going to be
Thank you.
I'm going to be a little different than we usually do. And with my selection, I actually have a list here of all of the guys. Shout out to Paul Hodowanek, who is a staff writer for PGAtour.com. He gave the minimum finishes for all players outside of the top 30 in order to qualify for the Tour Championship. Now, that's not inclusive necessarily of what might happen outside of the field, but I think this is certainly a list to keep in mind and be interested in as you're making your bets this week. And because I'm just such a great person, I'm also going to display it on the screen here while we make our picks. So give me 1 second as I pull that up for the people, and we're going to get right into top 20s. So my top 20 selection this week, I am going to look at guys who need to make a strong run, but I'm not going to be exclusively in that realm. I do certainly think that it matters a ton that, particularly when you're trying to get to the spot in the season, you're looking for at least one top scale finish, which is exactly why I'm going to, first of all, plug this list right here. I am going to start off with my selection for a top 20. I'm going to take Harry Hall, who currently sits at a whopping, where is he? He's plus 100 for a top 20 finish, including ties. He requires a solo 18th or better finish to qualify for the title race. So I like Harry Hall this week. A good selection, a strong selection. As I had mentioned previously, in his last 10 events, 7 top 15 finishes. Only one outside of the top 25. So right there, I like Harry Hall. Your pick.
I am going to go with. Do we have this? Yes. Okay. My top 20. I'm gonna ride the hot hand, Steve. Plus 125, including ties. Andrew Novak.
Yeah, I absolutely knew you were gonna run that way for that selection. We turn to our top 10s this week. I'm going to say pretty firm. I think there are a lot of guys who have a chance this week at the BMW, a new golf course on tour that we have not seen in quite some time. We're going to be playing at Caves Valley Golf Club. They last hosted in 2021. If you remember when that event happened, Patrick Cantlay took out Bryson DeChambeau in a basically what was a putting contest, a huge major putting contest. So I'm going to look at top-notch golfers who are really good on the greens, who could use a pretty strong finish. And while he's not particularly he isn't in the risky range in terms of placement currently, he is on sort of the cusp line. I like Sam Burns at plus 210 this week for a top 10. Again, putting's where we're going to matter a ton. Bentgrass greens here in Maryland. I do think it's going to matter, though. I think Burns is the play here.
I'm going with at plus 210 Ben Griffin, including ties.
So it sounds like you're going to be taking all of the vice captain's picks for the captain's picks for the Ryder Cup. I say top 5 selection for me. This is where I go for the home run. Somebody on this list needs to play pretty fucking well in order to qualify for the FedEx Cup. He's not necessarily going to be fighting and needing a 5th place finish, but I certainly think he has the skills to pay the bills at this golf course, and he's in desperate need for a get right week. Patrick Cantlay at plus 360, a past winner at this golf course, certainly can turn on the Jets, fight his way onto the Ryder Cup team going into the week. Your selection, though.
I mean, he's the perfect candidate. Top 5, including ties. Tommy Fleetwood.
I like it a lot. And
Plus 300.
And it fires me up a lot too. My gimme selection this week, as you can see on the list, he needed a 2-way tie for 21st in order to qualify. And you can get him at almost even money. He's minus 150 with ties. You can get him closer to even money without ties. Matt Fitzpatrick is my selection as a gimme this week.
I am going top 20, including ties, plus 100. Ricky Fowler.
Another great week. He's going to need a solid performance. He needs to finish solo 13th or better. You could also take Ricky for a top 10 as well, possibly needing to get up there. So I love the selection there. KB, we turn to the Four Nations parlay. Only 50 names this week. Not a lot of selection. But
How did I do last week?
Juicy.
How did I do last week?
They all got fucked.
Really?
Yes. Well, Scotty lost to Spawn. Connors did not play well. Pendrith was the leader. Matsuyama was the second best Asian. Siwoo was just ahead of him, and Min Luo finished second to last. So, but it's okay though because I took Danny Berger top 20, and I was confident he finished fucking DFL.
We'll run it back. We'll go top English Tommy Fleetwood plus 160. We will go. I trust Hideki this week. We'll go Hideki top Asian plus 140. We will go. We'll go Ludwig plus 100 as top continental European. And I mean, we'll go plus. We'll almost run it back turbo. Scotty Scheffler plus 160 top American.
All right. What's the total payout on that?
That is a plus 3,144 odds parlay. $10 to win you $324.48.
That's pretty damn good, if you ask me. I'm a big fan. I love that. I'm gonna drop off this list as we hit our final selections here. My ladder parlay this week, and it's gonna be a doozy. Not a 40-30-20. It's gonna be a straight top 20. We are gonna go the Ryder Cup hopeful top 20 parlay. This is a new development for me here. All three guys, all USA Ryder Cup potential members, who are all looking for their spot. I'm gonna go. It's a 6-1 payout. Top 20. Andrew Novak, Ben Griffin, Keegan Bradley. And if you want to add a fourth, you can look at somebody who's also sort of in the mix, but isn't currently there. Patrick Cantlay at minus 190 jumps that all the way up to a 9-1 payout.
Officially confirmed Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time on the critically acclaimed New Heights podcast. Taylor Swift.
T-Swizzle. The Taylor Swift fangirls were going nuts because they're like, I know where this blacked out photo. It matches up to this one.
One of my friends quote tweeted and said, "Holy shit, they got Jenna Ortega for the Wednesday season 2 press junket."
Yo. By the way, hold on. Wait, can we talk about how Jenna Ortega showed up to the red carpet event for Wednesday and she looked terrible?
She is not.
She got
very well photographed.
She got the fat removed from her neck.
She also just does not photograph well. Like her whole life, like she is not taking good pictures.
She looked horrible.
But someone said, "Oh my god, they got Wednesday for the press junket," and someone said, "I need them to do a rug pull like this so bad."
They got the press junket. I fucking love it. Oh my god. We go to your winning selection at the BMW. Who do you got?
I mean, I'd be remiss to just inform the people Scotty Scheffler is plus 230. But I am going to go off the beaten path here. I'm going to go Ludwig to win at plus 2,200.
That's a ballsy pick.
5th best odds. He could be a huge winner without opportunity.
Yeah, definitely fits.
He's tied for 5th best odds with Justin Thomas.
So, a couple of things to note. Changes from 2021 to 2024, right? The par changed to 70 from 72. Several holes have been lengthened, pushing the yardage back to beyond 7,600 yards. The greens are all recontoured, much more challenging pin positions, and it'll play firmer. The greens are moved closer to hazard areas. They install precision air under all the greens to keep consistent speeds, which is a huge, which was an issue in 2021. Thicker rough and much narrower fairways. So this golf course is going to play a lot different than what you saw when they were here in 2021. With that being said, I'm very much in the camp that anybody can win on any given week when it comes to playing at an event like this. It is legitimately anybody's ball game. Every guy in the field can win. And I think it's actually like insane the kind of odds that you can get on a name that's way back on the board. I'm going to go with a very out there winner. Somebody who hits the ball very straight. Somebody who putts the ball really well. He doesn't hit it very far, very similar to the Justin Rose profile, right? Somebody who isn't going to wow you tee to green, but if he can attack the course, he can get a little aggressive. This is a huge chance for him to not only make a run at possibly a last minute Ryder Cup selection, but this could be a week that he could be a first time Tour Championship finalist and start top 3 pretty quickly. I'm gonna go with Taylor Pendrith to win. Yes, 65-1, a crazy out there selection. But hear me out. It makes sense for a multitude of reasons. First of all, the putting is above average. The driving distance has been great. The accuracy has been here or there. But really, it's been his approach play that has been really strong over the last few weeks. He's been a little up and down as of late, but has played golf courses that kind of mirror this, and has played well. Finished top 7 at the Farmers Insurance Open. In the wind at Pebble Beach, finished top 9. He certainly has the ability to get there. It's only a matter of time before he shows up and shows out and makes it happen.
Oh, sorry. One of my friends just quote tweeted the New Heights clip and said she's going to revert back to her Eagles fandom and tell Travis the Super Bowl score was actually 40-6.
Horrible. Terrible. Folks, oh God, almost a 2-hour show. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. From fantasy football talks to Ryder Cup to FedEx Cup to everything in between, beer money picks,
I'll do
God,
this,
there's a lot.
Steve. I'll throw you a bone. I'll do a little of this.
More breaking news. What else you got for me?
If we get the main YouTube to 2K subscribers, and we get the Get in the Hole YouTube to 100 subscribers, I'll allow you to record a pilot fantasy football podcast.
Ooh, don't get me started. You know who my first guest is going to be?
It could be a lot of people.
That fucktard Sal Vetri. Who, for you fantasy fans out there, guy's a fucking dunce. He's the worst
Never
fantasy.
even heard of this guy.
Oh, he's terrible. And he punchable face, annoying voice. Sal Vetri.
He looks like
A thumb.
he looks like if Vector and Gru from Despicable Me celebrity mashup.
Sal Vetri. I hate that guy.
What is that hairline?
Exactly. That's the point.
He looks like an eraser.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Good grief.
Folks, that's going to do it all for us here. Get in the Hole, episode 217. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe on all our social media platforms at Get in the Hole Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and beyond. Leave that 5-star rating, comment on our post on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Get in the Hole Pod or Underground PHI, Underground Sports. You can find us across all those platforms. And, of course, check out all of our other awesome podcasts on the network, including The House Show with Pat Pitts. You can check me out last week on episode 3, reviewing SummerSlam, Underground Circuit, Top Bins, OTB, and beyond. Underground Sports, your one-stop shop for every niche sport you can think of, and some incredible content all in between. Shout out to our sponsors, 47 brand, Kenwood Beer, Acorn Hills, 5 Iron Golf, McGregor Golf as well, and everybody in between. You guys are the absolute best, keeping us running and rocking and rolling with some of the best content we can put out week in and week out. KB, going to do it all for us here. Final thoughts for you at the road.
Subscribe. Be sure to tune into our Underground Sports socials Wednesday night, because Harrison and I will be taking in our very first Philadelphia Union game together. He nor I have ever been to Subaru Park for a Union game. We're sitting 5 rows off the field. No free shout outs to Tick Pick for making that happen.
There you go.
It's going to be a doozy of a time. U.S. Open Cup against the New York Red Bulls, whose field looks like an absolute just shitstorm right now. And I'm very concerned because the PLL finals are being played on that field. So that's terrifying. And what else do I have to plug here? Yeah, stay tuned for behind the scenes of the Underground Sports Philadelphia inaugural fantasy league, because we'll be posting about that on social once that all goes down. I'm sure it's gonna be a doozy of a time.
I'm going to kick everyone's ass.
Yeah, good luck, pal. You don't know how to play fantasy on the power of vibes and friendship.
I'm going to bend you over and say, hello, how you doing? Episode 217. We'll see you next week.
Shout out Thor.
I'm going to bonk you at the... Thanks for listening to Get in the Hole, the official golf podcast of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Catch us every week wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and be sure to like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Get in the Hole Pod, and follow Underground Sports Philadelphia at Underground PHI. We'll see you next time. And remember,
Get in the hole!